Joining us now, Democratic Congressman Eric Swalwell of California. Welcome back, Congressman. Trump says
Thanks,
it's
Chris.
highly unlikely that he's firing Powell, even though he said something different, apparently, in a room full of Republicans. Do you believe him?
He can't fire Powell. And Powell has said that he will not allow himself to be fired because the law protects Powell from being fired. So this is just Trump upset that he cannot, control somebody who is supposed to otherwise be independent. And so Trump is facing the reality here. And the lesson I take from this, when I listen to Powell, who has said that the president cannot fire him, is you have to make Donald Trump react. You have to keep him on his heels. Otherwise, he'll have the most vulnerable in our country on their heels. And the reason he wants to fire Powell and doesn't want him there is because Powell is not going along with the lunacy of the Trump tariff tax, where we're all paying more at Home Depot, at Walmart, at Target for the goods we consume because of Trump's tax. And Powell has not played into that and has not supported it and has said that inflation is happening and he's not bringing down the rates until it stops because of the tariffs.
So if he doesn't have the power to fire Powell, and again, Powell has been very clear he's not going anywhere. If he tries, what do you see as the consequences, and does Congress have any role in this?
Well, my Republican colleagues have completely abandoned any independent role to check abuses of power by the presidency. So I wouldn't count on them to do anything. But of course, Powell can go to the courts. And as inspectors general who were fired by Trump early on in the administration went to the courts, and some of them were able to stay because Trump was not able to fire them in the manner that he wanted, Powell will certainly have legal recourse. And the courts right now, and the free press, and the town squares that are full of people peacefully protesting, those three legs can hold up democracy. As the fourth leg, a check by Congress, is completely gone. But you have to, as I said, you have to force the president to make moves. Otherwise, the bully will be the one on offense.
Now, Trump did leave open the possibility he could let Powell go for fraud, alluding to recent renovation, I think $1.5 billion of the Fed offices. Do you see a possible window there?
I don't. I mean, that claim is fraudulent. By the way, if we step back, Jerome Powell is Donald Trump's appointee. He didn't fall out of the sky into the chairmanship of the Federal Reserve. Donald Trump put him there in his first term. And so any problem Donald Trump has with Jerome Powell is a problem that he should have with his own judgment if he doesn't like what Powell is doing, the guy who famously says he hires only the best people. But this claim, again, is because Powell is not going along with the real fraud, which is that Trump thinks these tariffs are helping Americans and are a tax on other countries, when in fact we pay the tax. The importers pay the tax, and then is passed along to all of us at the supermarket and any home goods store, or if you're a construction worker, any bid that you're working on.
The other major story that came up at the president's presser is the controversy over the handling of the Jeffrey Epstein files. Speaker Johnson, as I'm sure you know, now calling for more information to be released, transparency. Do you and other Democrats now have common ground with the Speaker of the House?
If his goal is transparency on the Epstein files, yes, and we will work with him. But so far, every vote that Democrats have put up to release these files that Donald Trump promised he would release and that Pam Bondi said were on her desk, Republicans have voted against it. So you can, talk is cheap, but most Americans, and this is Democrats and Republicans, want to see these files. But let me take another approach, because Michael Wolff, who has spent a lot of time with Donald Trump and a lot of time with Jeffrey Epstein, has reported that the two were very close. And Donald Trump has acknowledged that he and Jeffrey Epstein were very close. He's called him a good guy. Wolff has reporting that at one point Trump had topless underage girls sitting on his lap. If you're Donald Trump, you deserve, if that is not true, to be cleared. That allegation should be cleared. And so if his supporters are not upset that, about the allegation, they may be upset that he is unwilling to clear his own name. So if he indeed did not do that, he should want his own name to be cleared and for these files to be public.
Yeah, and I want to be clear, we don't have independent reporting on that. But I do want to ask you, Congressman, why Democrats are talking about this a lot now. There was no long, loud outcry before there seemed to be blunt, a political opening. Is there something really important to know? And if so, why not speak up any time over the past years?
Yeah, well, myself and colleagues on the Judiciary Committee have long wanted the Epstein files to be released. In fact, Elijah Cummings, when he was on the Oversight Committee, when he was alive and in Congress, he had also worked on this issue in the Oversight Committee. But this is a promise that Donald Trump made to the American people that he has not fulfilled. And you know what? 3 strikes and you're out. He promised that he was going to reduce the debt, and with his reconciliation bill, he drove it up. He said he was going to end wars, and all he has done is added conflicts to the map. And he told his supporters he was going to put the Epstein files out there, and he's refusing to do it. So if he's not going to do that work, House Democrats are going to show the American people who are asking for debt to be down, wars to be gone, and those files to be released, we will do the work for him.
So let me just ask you why you think it's important, because we know that on the conservative side, the folks who have been following this closely and calling for this for 10 years, they, number one, do not believe any report that says that Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide. And they want to see what no one has seen, as far as I know, this supposed client list. Why, from your perspective, from Democrats' perspective, is it important for this information to get out there?
The trust in government is at an all-time low. As somebody who has been in elected office and was a prosecutor before, I want my constituents and the American people to trust me and my Democratic colleagues. And so if they're asking for more transparency on a case that involves the President of the United States, whether he's in the files or not, Elon Musk says he is, or the President of the United States having the Department of Justice bury these files and not disclose them, the American people want transparency from their leaders. And so this is about transparency and letting the facts lie where they will, but at least letting the American people see them.
I'm genuinely out of time, Congressman, so I'll ask you to be brief.
Nice to see you again.
If you were a betting man, what do you think the chances are all of this gets released?
It's not going to be released by Donald Trump. He today said his own supporters, he doesn't need them anymore if they want the files released. A man who says that does not seem very eager, to give in to transparency, and looks more like he wants to protect himself.
Congressman Eric Swalwell, thank you.
My pleasure.